Hey, Nixie, say something for the people.
Something.
Yes, there he is.
Improv is
He has
good.
said
I can
something.
hear you.
Excellent,
I
excellent,
can hear
folks.
you. Neato.
Folks, can you hear him? Can you hear him?
I don't know if my volume has to be turned up a little bit, but then I guess that's something you'd have to do on your end because
Excellent. They can hear you. They can hear you just fine. Oh, I forgot to play your intro music. Hold on, let's play it right now.
do I have an intro song? I have a theme song. Nice.
There we go. That was supposed to play when he appeared, but it didn't. But I did it then. Welcome, Nixie. How are you today?
I'm doing perfectly fine, actually.
Excellent.
Like, perfectly fine is an understatement. Like, I have been really hyped for this weekend, man.
Glad to hear it. Yes, you said you've got lots of things lined up, which we can get to later. I like to let the people know what you're up to at the end of the show so it stays fresh in their mind.
That's cool.
So,
That's understandable.
let's get right into some questionings if you do not mind.
Of course I do not mind.
All right. Let's see. First of all, how did you learn the skills to create your own avatar? He made his own avatar, all the movements and the rigging and whatnot. Where did that come from?
That's actually pretty funny. Okay, I'm going to go on. It's a bit of a long story, but I'll try to keep it as short as possible. Basically,
Yeah, take your time.
I've been interested in VTubers for a while. I got into them by I think watching HoloLive clips, lots of Kiryu Coco, lots of Korone,
Oh, who hasn't?
and eventually I was talking to a friend of mine on this holiday park, and he was like, "Yo, HoloLive just announced this English gen essentially," and I was like, "How have I not heard? I need to know." And eventually, I was watching something done by Gura, and I was like, "You know what? This sounds like fun. I want this." And I'd already been bouncing around the idea of becoming a VTuber to the friend who introduced me to HoloLive, Ian, and I was telling him like, the cash investment I could make, like the tracking software, I'm willing to part with some of my money for that. But the time investment is a whole nother deal because I'd have to pick up a completely new software that I've never used. And then I caught COVID. So I was kind of forced in quarantine for 10 days, or at least 10 days is what I thought I would have. So I figured this is like life telling me that I have to make the time investment. And so I did. I just started watching a metric ass ton of YouTube tutorials, and the art program I was already decently versed in. I just needed to get a hang of the new layer system that I'd have to use for Live 2D. But once I got that down, it was lots of questioning my decision, because I was just in Live 2D specifically, there were a lot of days where I was just I'm really excited to do this, but I'm so confused. Help me. But eventually I managed to get through, and in a week I had my first functioning model, which you're looking at now.
Wow, this is the result of just 1 week, huh? That's pretty quick. Yeah. I gotta say, for just starting out, that's impressive.
Well, the week is it also counts the drawing of the art assets, which took me about 10 hours.
There you go. 10 hours to draw. Over
10
the course
hours to draw, and
over the course of a week.
How long I took to rig everything.
So the 10 hours to draw, did you do that in like one session or over the course of the week?
I did that in 2 sessions because I wanted to have enough art assets to do a model as quickly as I could. So I spent the first 2 days just doing nothing but drawing.
Oh, okay. So and then that equated to 10 hours.
Yeah, that equated to 10 hours. I was pretty glad, because one thing that a lot of the tutorials said is you don't leave void spaces, as they call them, so that allows me to do stuff like this and not show off like some sort of hideous void behind my face.
Yeah.
And my hair and that sort of stuff. So I needed to draw a lot of things that people would never see.
Yes.
And for all that and trying to do a lot of different layering and stuff, I'm actually I'm pretty pleased with the 10-hour thing. I thought it would take longer.
I must say, I like the results. I've said it before on your trailer. The color scheme is nice. It's a very cute model.
Thank you.
And I'll be honest, it does look like more time than just 10 hours was put into its work. It was put into it. I'll be honest. It really looks like
it was. You mean
done.
Just the art? Because
I am talking just the art and even the rig. It's to hear that you did that in a week is well, it's beyond my skills.
Well, it's like I said, YouTube tutorials did a majority of the learn work, and then I just essentially you boot up the program and you're like, what the hell does any of this mean? And then you get like the hang of one thing, and then you're like, okay, what do we do next? And then you watch the tutorial again, and you're like, okay, I'll memorize that. And that's kind of how it went. When I got the hang of how deformers worked, that's when I really started to make progress. But that's a whole system that I'm not gonna explain right now. But essentially, it allows me to do stuff like this.
Well, it turned out great. So I'm glad you're here, and with that model, it's very nice. It's very awesome. So let's see. How long have you been doing art? I'm sure you didn't look up tutorials for that. I think you did that, you've been doing that before.
Art is, my God, I've been doing that so long. I've been drawing for as long as I can remember, actually, and eventually like family members started being like, whoa, that's actually pretty good. But I was still a kid back then, and looking back at those drawings, I'm like, I appreciate the gesture, I really do, but it wasn't that good.
It's like, yes, I see the passion, kid. Get a little better.
I primarily drew monsters and robots, actually. Like,
Ooh.
I had a very limited scope of interests. So most of my things would be like monsters with robot parts or tentacles on them.
Hey, you know what? Don't downplay that, your limited. I did like a little small comic thing when I was like 12. I called it Aliens versus the Robots.
That's so cool. I did that with a friend of mine. He's one of my best friends, and we used to write comics in primary school.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like the art was nothing impressive because we wanted to get as much story done as quickly as possible.
Yes,
so
yes.
all the characters, except for those that we copied from shows and games that we liked,
Yeah.
all the characters were just stick figures.
Oh, no way.
And the dialogue boxes were even worse because we drew the dialogue box, and then we didn't. Yeah, and then we didn't take into account how little space there would actually be.
Yes, exactly.
So frequently the text would go outside of the speech bubble.
Yeah,
I've been reading one of these old things with a friend of mine, with the same friend, and it's legendary. It's so much fun to just look back on those old memories.
That it's good that you can have fun looking back at old memories. Sometimes people cringe at them and can't have fun, but it's a good thing that you can enjoy it.
I laugh a lot at them, actually. Also like old art that I used to take seriously.
Yeah.
Like I think I started taking art actually seriously when I got into middle school. I think I was doing a lot of fan art from video games that I liked, and this is when I found out that maybe using just color pencils to draw is a bit inconvenient, and you need line art.
Yes.
So that's kind of what laid the groundwork for what I do now, I guess. And I always explicitly avoided drawing human characters, especially their faces, in whatever style I could possibly do, because faces would always look really dumb.
Hey, just look at my face. This model, me, Jeep, this is based on an old kid drawing I did. This is my idea of what humans look like.
That's actually really, really cool.
Yeah, this is I did this. That's why I chose. I want to get that kid flavor across with my model, and also kind of a funny, wacky at the same time. So yes, no, I
mean
drew...
it works.
Oh, thank you.
Also, we're the Hat Gang now.
Yes, the Hat Gang. Yeah.
But yeah, I guess digital art that I improved in a lot quicker than traditional, because traditional mostly what people liked about my traditional work was the amount of detail that I put into the line art, because my color was always just flat coloring,
Yeah.
So when I started trying to do shading not that long
shading
before
is rough.
Traditional shading is, for lack of a better word, it's a bitch. You really have to take into account the colors and where exactly everything goes. But then when I found out that digital was a thing, and not gonna lie, when I was an edgy, pretentious 14-year-old, I was always like, digital art is for casuals, man. Like you press one button and all the art just comes out. It's way too easy. No, I was so wrong. So I picked up digital because an online social media platform that I was on at the time. I've deleted that now because I haven't used it in years. But somebody had an art tutorial for this free program called the Ebis Paint X, and I was like, you know what, I want to try that. I'm the sort of kid that would unironically have a sketchbook with him wherever he goes, and now I don't need that. Now I need my phone, and I have that thing with me all the time anyway.
Well, that's great. Like, you can practice anytime you want then.
Exactly. And shading is... I used to have this hard style of shading where it's kind of more of a typical anime thing where there's just like hard lines instead of the more gradient thing that I use nowadays.
Yeah.
But then I found out that I was doing a drawing of... what was his name? Bondrude from Made in Abyss. It's a really dark anime series.
I've heard of that one. I've heard of it. Yes. Go on.
Neato. I was doing a drawing of that guy, of Bondrude from Made in Abyss, and then I found out that the blur tool was a thing, and that changed my life. Holy shit.
The what?
Shading
I'm sorry.
was suddenly...
The what changed your life?
Shading suddenly looked twice as good for half the precision. Like, it's still a lot of effort, but I didn't need to precisely fiddle around with all the lines, and especially, like, since I use my phone for my digital art, I often have this problem where if I zoom in and I do, like, a line, then I kind of already reached the end of my screen, so I have to zoom in a little further to another part and continue the line, and you would always see that. But now I use blur for all my shading, it's not noticeable, and I can just do whatever I want.
Oh, that's a relief. Was blur always available and you like just discovered one of those things was always there but didn't know what it was, or did you just
It was
look
always
up?
there, and I was just... I was so stubborn. There's hundreds of brushes available in the program, and it sounds like I'm selling it now, but I'm really not. Like, and I just didn't use any of them. I just used the single thing, the default brush. And that was literally it.
Well, there you have it. The great discovery with what's already there. That's always fun. And also makes you feel kind of stupid at the same time.
I mean, I was really glad when I figured it out, and I was like, okay, there's this one character that I really need to try this on, so I kind of never continued my Bondrude drawing, actually.
Oh, never continued. Sorry, what's the name again?
The character that I didn't continue?
Yeah.
Bondrude from Made in Abyss.
Bondrude. Sorry, Bondrude.
Yeah, he's kind of messed up.
Well, I'm glad you found the blur. The blur that
yeah.
binds us all. And art, evidently.
Yeah, it's what allowed my model to look the way it does.
Well, it's like everything convenient that you just need for your model was coming in at the right times. That's good.
Yeah, even, like I said, it's just like life was like, make the time investment, damn it, do it.
And you did. You can't say you didn't. You're here. You're now.
Exactly. My mentality going in was just like, I've been wanting to do this for, I think it was a month now. And I'm going to regret this so hard if I don't try it. And if I did, then it's not as if I had anything better to do.
Well, I'm glad you're here. You're a very pleasant person to talk with. So, and
Thank
a nice
you,
guest.
thank you.
Yes, no, it's true.
I mean, the feeling's mutual.
Well, thank you. I worry about that sometimes. Like, am I too high pitched or whatnot? I tend to talk a little loud. I'm afraid my mic won't pick it up, so I worry that might annoy my guests sometimes, the viewers.
Your mic picks you up just fine, and I don't think your voice is too high pitched. I actually think it really works.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Okay, so I have another question. What's the hardest and the easiest thing you discovered since becoming a VTuber?
Okay, that's a good one. The easiest thing... Okay, no, wait. I'm going to start with the hardest one first. The hardest for me was marketing myself and getting viewers.
Yes.
Okay, so I never did a proper debut. I think I've mentioned this once before, but I never did a proper debut. I just started streaming and I never stopped. Because, like I said, I thought I had but 10 days to fulfill my dream of becoming a VTuber. And I figured I am not going to waste time setting up all these different art assets for a proper debut video. I'm just going to stream this weird-ass game that I happen to have in my library, and we're just going to roll with it.
Right. And that being more difficult with as far as getting viewers was concerned than expected.
Well, it was difficult for a bunch of reasons. One, the game's kind of obscure. Like, it's this cult hit GameCube game. And a second thing is I didn't know how you would properly title something. So my first couple streams were just called Nixie Plays Killer 7. And nobody knew who I was, so they didn't have any reason to care. I didn't put VTuber in my title or in my description, so nobody had any reason to come by my 0 follower channel.
Right, of course.
And
using
all the people that did were people that I knew in real life. I do really appreciate them coming by the way.
Yeah,
Always
well,
fun.
they got your back. That's good.
Yeah, and then I think I just started using YouTube as like an archive for all my streams because I couldn't handle the fact that Twitch would delete them after 14 days.
I know what you mean.
I needed an
Exactly.
archive because I think it's fun to watch things back.
Yes, no, I agree. That's what I use YouTube for.
Yeah, and then I started playing Fallout New Vegas because I wanted to do it anyways, and I figured blind playthroughs are fun. I watch blind playthroughs.
Ooh, that was
So
you blind played through that one.
yeah. The only thing that I knew about New Vegas was the story of Vault 11. I was like genuinely impressed by some of the intricacies of the main story alone. Like I thought, oh, I'm just delivering this piece of junk to who knows where,
And then turn
and
into something
it's
else.
so much more complex than that.
Those are like some of the best stories, right? You think you get the idea, it's so simple, and then it evolves.
Yeah, some of my favorite works of fiction do that. It's one of my favorite. You can't really call it a trope because you have to actually put the effort in.
That's true. Trope is something you just pull out of a hat of tropes.
Yeah, exactly. It's the free ideas bucket.
Yeah. Use them as you please.
But
They're overused, but use them.
exactly, there's no copyright to tropes. But
Yes. Yes, there isn't. You can't copyright certain ideas, certainly not the tropes.
exactly. So after when I did Fallout New Vegas, because it has a very dedicated fan base, that's when views started rolling in, and that's when I realized
Oh.
maybe I should put the fact that I'm a VTuber in my titles, and that helped a lot. And then there were some people that actually stuck around who just happened to discover me because I was playing Fallout New Vegas, and that was like the best feeling of all time. 6 months later, no kidding, 6 months later was when I decided, hey, maybe I should make a Reddit account simply because I wanted to collaborate with people. That was literally the only reason. Because I went into Google and I just typed in small VTuber looking for collaboration partner, and the first results were from Reddit, so I'm like, fuck it, I'll cave, I'll make a Reddit account.
Okay. So it was not by choice, it was more like by, okay, I gotta do this to get the word out.
To
So
get in contact with people, and it's
yes.
one of the best decisions that I've made since becoming a VTuber.
Well, for all you folks, that's how he got in contact with me. So
Exactly. It's how I got in contact with you, it's how I got in contact with Maury,
whoa,
it's how I got
whoa,
in contact with Rin also.
Oopsie. That was a little glitch
you
right
just-
there.
Yeah, I saw that. I
Everyone
see
saw
everything.
that.
There is no escape.
Everybody saw it. We're live. That's okay. I'll just edit it out later.
It's cool. It's cool.
Oh, I hate it when sometimes things glitch out like that. Or was that a glitch? Or did I click it? I think I might have clicked it. That was my bad.
It's okay. It's okay.
Anyway, is there you said we were talking before. There's something you wanted to bring up here when we got here. Was there something like interesting you wanted to bring up? I thought there was. I can't remember precisely what it was. I'm sorry.
Well, there is a thing. I didn't know if I was going to be able to bring it up because it kind of depended on a video that I was making. I was editing the finale for my Fallout New Vegas series on YouTube, which you should totally check out, by the way, because I've spent a lot of time editing that. Shameless plug. But I made the announcement that I have actually put the effort into making background environments now. So I can do a debut video, and I can do a just chatting stream without it looking really, really awkward.
Wow, are you planning to do a debut stream?
Oh, I don't know if I'm gonna do it as a stream or video yet, because if I wanted to do it as a stream, well, the problem is specifically debuts usually answer frequently asked questions,
Right.
and I need to gather questions first.
Well, you could just pretend.
I could go with some of the general ones, like say, what's your favorite video game? What kind of music do you listen to? I could go on about those two things alone for literal days.
Well, there you go. So, maybe you don't need a frequently asked questions. You just need to talk about yourself, kind of thing. If you want to do it live, at least.
That also works. I think debuts do really help push people to not necessarily the next level, but they do help push views a little bit, because there's a lot of people who just spend time watching VTuber debuts and they just stick around the people that they like.
Yes, true. So you put VTuber debut on that. At least that's a platform where people are searching and looking up, like you said. Yeah. And
exactly. So that's why my streaming career, It was kind of an uphill battle to get like even a single viewer on average, but it worked
Hey, you know what?
eventually.
That's thanks to you. Remember, it's not just thanks to anybody. You put in the work, and it got out there. They heard you.
Heck yeah.
I remember you telling me you were rated by a
Yeah,
very
that's
popular VTuber. Who
Not
was
a
it?
VTuber. I was rated by a regular streamer called McFoodie. I think that's how you pronounce it. But she was
McFoodie.
playing Resident Evil, and I was playing Resident Evil, and she just finished her stream, and
How did she hear
decided
about
to
you?
just hop on down.
How did she hear about you, McFoodie?
I don't know how she heard about me actually. She just kind of rated me, and then we chat via chat room for a second. But then it turned out that I was a little further ahead in the game at the exact moment, and I didn't want to spoil it for her. So I decided to be as vague with my terminology as possible because I did remember the solutions to some puzzles that she hadn't gotten to. So I was just like, ah, yes, I'm going to insert this thing into that thing, and that will unlock the thing, and then I can progress the game. I was talking like that for the.
Taking out the wrong context. I'm
Because-
going to insert that thing into that thing, and it will unlock that thing. Yeah.
Exactly, it unlocks the thing.
Well, inserting
Oh
things
my-
usually does unlock things.
I'm strictly talking about keys here, guys. Don't take that out of context.
Yes, folks, we're talking about keys here, okay? Not everything is is a lewd innuendo, right? Sometimes you just want to fist something means you want to punch something, okay?
Exactly. Don't you just feel like fisting something in the face occasionally? Like
Exactly. Like, I want to
I
mush...
don't. I'm not really that violent of a person, but
Sorry, I didn't mean to go with a violent context. I'm just trying to think with the funny, something that's a very obvious lewd reference, so I use the fisting term.
I mean, something that my dad always said is, "I'm really good in bed," and then people were like, "What?" Oh yeah, I just mean that I can sleep for days at a time. That's
Hey.
a classic, and I've totally colonized that, so it's mine now.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Like, you want you just you gotta just ask the beds, and they'll say, "Yeah, he's great. He never leaves. He's always with me. He's so supportive." Just ask the sheets.
Exactly.
Ask the mattress.
He's such a wholesome guy.
Exactly. The bed will tell you. Now, everybody farts
The
in their
bed, and not
sleep.
the people.
Yes, the beds, not the people. the bed will be like, everyone farts in their sleep, but we don't have noses, so it's okay. The mattress.
Yeah, it's perfectly fine. So yeah, but that's indeed also a thing.
That's a
that
good one.
happened.
That's a good one.
I completely forgot that rating was even a thing because I'd been streaming for so long and it kind of never happened. So I was just like, who cares? Like, and then it happened, and now I'm like, for a while I was just really trying to figure out how rating works.
Oh, I just want to read some of the comments that Morty has said. Yes, and Nixie out of context. Yes, Nixie out of context. Oh no, we can't have Nixie out of context. That's a nice guy. Come on. If we're gonna put him out of
Wait,
context.
wait.
Oh, go on.
I came here to say things and have context, and I'm all out of context.
No, you went there. You went there. Okay, hold on. Now I need to go somewhere. I got nowhere to go. Let's continue with you.
Good, that's good. It's sometimes you just have like, oh yeah, that's a genius idea, and then you just immediately forget it.
Yes, there you go. It's okay. I'll probably corrupt him. That's what
Yes.
Morty said. Oh,
It's already started, Maury. Remember sandpaper dildo? No.
oh dear. Well, wherever you use that,
was
make sure you
reference
bring
to one of her
lotion.
streams.
Make sure you bring lotion wherever you use that.
Make sure you bring lotion wherever you go. You never know. No.
That's true. And sunscreen. Morty, how could I ever
Sunscreen is
forget? Oh, you two have said some things behind the scenes that needn't be said here. Or
It's not even behind the scenes. It was literally on the stream.
Oh, well, no, I look like the fool. God damn it. Okay.
No. It's cool. It's cool.
No, I'm playing around. I'm playing. It's hard to tell.
No, I'm one of those. I wouldn't describe myself as a mom friend, but I do always try to make sure people that I talk to are just doing okay.
Oh, that's very nice. No, that's nice. No, thank you. No, I mess around a lot, so it's all good. It's actually quite hard to upset me. I end up upsetting myself the most than anyone else. So.
I guess the only one who knows to upset me is me.
Exactly. I look in the mirror and I just go, "You son of a bitch! You're always there, always."
Like, you son of a bitch! I'm in. Sorry.
I didn't get that reference, so it's nothing to apologize for.
It's Rick and Morty.
Oh, Rick and
I
Morty.
I have a friend of mine made me watch a lot of it, and
Hmm.
I don't reference it that much, but I did think that was like an opportunity that I couldn't pass up.
Well, there you go, folks. Rick and Morty fans. There was a reference. Here's your new homie for Rick and Morty. At least for that reference.
I speak in fluent reference, by the way.
There you go.
Like, except a lot of things that I like are kind of obscure, so like half the time nobody notices.
Sorry. Your mic kind of blanked out. Can you say something? I thought it just.
Oh, I said I speak in fluent reference, but most of the things I like are very obscure, so nobody really notices.
Ah. Hey, it's real fun when you find somebody who does notice.
That's true.
So keep
That's
at
true.
it. You'll find the obscure.
Okay, this is a bit of a tangent, and it wasn't really an obscure reference that I was making, but it was really fun regardless. So before 2020, I think this was somewhere in 2019 or 18,
Sure.
early 19, late 18, somewhere like that. Me and a friend decided, hey, let's hit the town for the first time in my life, because I tend not to go out and go to bars very much. But we decided to, hey, let's have let's have a good night on the town,
Yeah.
And we went into this bar. It's a bit of a rock/metal themed bar, and I was talking to this friend of mine about Hellsing Ultimate Abridged, and I was doing an impression of one of the main characters.
Yeah.
And this dude, this random dude next to me, he just finished. He replied in the same way that the character in the show did. So
Some
it's just
random
there,
guy?
like, dude, you don't, you didn't.
So some random guy in the bar knew what you were referencing and replied to what you were doing. Oh, that was.
I was like, oh my god, you're also a weeb. You're also a fucking degenerate.
That you were thinking that, or did you actually say that?
No. I was actually like, damn, that's nice.
Ah, okay, then in the cool way. Yeah, no, I get you. Did you end up talking with him more beyond that, or did that was that moment?
It was really just a one-time thing, because like he left pretty soon after because like one of his other friends had to go or something like that.
Oh, I see. Well,
and we never got each other's contact information, but it is a pretty fun occurrence that happens, because typically I always keep like the weeb stuff to myself.
Yeah, no, I understand.
I'm always like, I don't think there's many people who would understand, but when you do find someone, it's always legendary.
Hey, you know what? That's good stuff when that happens. I'm glad that happened too. That's really fun. I'll go over on a similar experience, and after that, if you're up for it, we've had a good talk so far. I think the audience has got a good taste of the mighty Nixie. If you'd be up for moving to the performance corner afterwards.
Hell yeah! Then I'll just grab the. I'm not gonna say what it is. I'll grab the thing.
Yeah, grab the thing. Grab it good. Grab it hard, and don't let go. So, a similar experience, not precisely similar, but in the context that a stranger did show up and interacted with us. Perfect stranger was my brother and I, with our grandfather. We were eating food in a Chinese restaurant, right? And my brother, the way he eats lobster, right? It's like a concentrated ritual in that he takes his time, he uses his hands, really gets in. He loves it. Cantonese style lobster, his favorite. He's eating this 5-pound lobster all to himself right in front of him. The restaurant really likes us. We went there every day and always gave them a tip, and they always like, see you tomorrow, and they were right because we went there every day. It was this
That sounds like a very chill place.
Yes, no, yeah, we loved it, and because it was during our vacation. We go on vacation to this place. The place is in the area where we vacation because we would go fishing there. Fishing was the main theme of the vacation, and then we find a good restaurant, and that was the restaurant we went to every day, every morning for breakfast, and dinner. So
nice.
Yes, my grandfather loved doing that. He would save up for that. And so, anyway, my brother's eating the lobster, and the way he eats just engages people, because some of the people in the restaurant were looking at him just like, "Whoa, look at him go," kind of thing. And then out of nowhere, this guy comes by and pats him on the back. My brother doesn't even notice, and he says, he's really good eater. And then he just leaves the restaurant.
He just leaves the restaurant?
Yes, he wanted to pat my brother on the back first.
He didn't want to deal with the consequences. He was just focused on getting the fuck out of there.
Yes. Well, but he was nice about it. But yes. So there's an example where a stranger just walked up and kind of left quickly. So I just wanted
to... The way you said, like, it's a concentrated ritual just had me thinking, like, dude, like, breaks part of the lobster open while it's still alive and draws a pentagram in its blood so he could, like, appease the unholy demons that he worships while he has his lobster.
Okay, that would be too
I
realistic.
always have these. I always have these very vivid visual images when someone describes a certain thing that happens. So
Poor choice of words. At the very least, imagine just someone so engaged in eating lobster. It looks like it's like he's putting on a show, but he's just eating.
it looks like he's putting on the show. That sounds like it'd be pretty epic, actually.
Oh, it is. It's just. I love my brother. My colors. Blue's my favorite color, and red is his. That's why I chose that color scheme.
Oh, nice.
Yes. So no, we're very close. So. All right, so I'm going to get things set. I'm going to go back to the standby screen and get everything ready for the performance. Get ready, folks. Nixie's going to be doing voices. It's going to be the longest...
Bunch of them, yes.
Yes. It's going to be the longest performance I've ever done, I've ever written for anybody up until this point. Nixie requested it, so I wrote him up a good one. It took a little while to come up with this story, actually. Longer than I expected, but it was worth it. So.
It's like that. I don't know if you've ever seen that Japanese ad of just long, long man. That one?
No, I haven't.
Ah, damn! It's like that, but in story form. It's fucking hilarious. I should show you sometime. I'll send you the link when we finish streaming.
Yes.
It's absolutely hilarious.
Please. So first, I'm going to go to the standby screen.
Heck yeah!